Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Ukraine sits down to talks with Russia as those in the state line pray for peace nearly a week into the crisis.
And many people in Illinois ditch their COVID masks. The mandate for most public places is over. There are some situations where you still need a face covering.
Plus, reaching out to state line students with a smile and a wave. City leaders hope the gesture helps curb violence in tonight's State Line Strong. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Sanctions from the U.S. and other allies begin in Russia today. Russian stocks sank even with the Moscow exchange closed.
It's been nearly a week since Russian forces invaded Ukraine. Ukrainian and Russian leaders met today to try and resolve the crisis. They say they're considering a second round of negotiations. Ukrainian military and civilians are in a fierce battle to defend their country. So far, they've been able to slow down Russian troops from taking the capital city.
I was helping my husband to pack for a war, and then I thought, okay, he's going to war. I'm going too.
Russian President Vladimir Putin put the country's nuclear weapons on high alert after most of their banks were kicked out of the international banking system, one of the sanctions against the country. Even Switzerland, historically known to have a neutral stance, froze Russian assets.
And although Ukraine's more than 5,000 miles from Rockford, people here in the Forest City are praying for a peaceful end to the conflict. A Pray for Ukraine service will happen in just under an hour at Christ the Savior Orthodox Church. That church is on Pershing Avenue, just east of 11th Street. It was founded by Ukrainian immigrants more than 60 years ago. We will be at the vigil. Look for an update tonight at 6. State Line residents are keeping us up to date with stories of survival from family and friends in Ukraine.
Rachel Perry talked to a man who spent time living and studying in Ukraine. And Rachel, he tells you his friends and teachers are doing their best to stay safe.
That's right, Mimi and Eric. One thing he wants to point out, though, is how the country has united during this time, saying families in Ukraine are working together, showing immense pride and support for their home.
Ukrainian people are people that are united as well as smart, and they're defending their freedom.
Stories of survival as Russia continues the attack on Ukraine. Joey Clapp lived and studied in Kyiv for 2 years, leaving during the 2014 violent protests before the Ukrainian Revolution. Now he's sharing the stories of his friends currently fleeing the city.
There are former teachers of ours that are hunkering in metro stations, hoping to avoid bombs. And then we also have friends from the east, from Kharkiv, that they're trying to make their way all the way over to Poland. So that's a very long trip.
With their car nearly out of fuel, he says his friends made it to Poland, but now face a bigger challenge.
They don't have the proper documentation to be able to leave the country, and so they're hoping that they'll be granted some sort of refugee status when they get to the front of the line.
Despite the hardships, Joey says Ukrainians are working smart and efficiently, putting up a strong fight against Russian troops.
Russia thought that they were going to come in and in a few hours invade and occupy Ukraine. And yet, what are we on, day 5 or 6? And we're still seeing Ukraine resist that invasion.
Some residents are fleeing the city. Many are fighting back, and others are seeking shelter in their basements. Sitting back and not being able to help isn't easy for Joey.
You know, our friends are literally fleeing for their lives, hiding from Russian military, and yet we're so comfortable here.
Joey says it's important to remember not all Russians agree with the invasion. He asks everyone to be kind and keep Ukraine in their thoughts and prayers. Eric?
Thanks, Rachel. Masks or face coverings are no longer required in Illinois in most indoor places. As of 12:01 this morning, it's now up to each individual business to decide if masks are needed. The mandate had been in effect since August 30th, 2021. In the past few weeks, the number of people in the hospital with COVID-19 has been cut in half, and the number of ICU beds available increased by 24%. However, you will still need a face covering while riding public transportation or visiting healthcare facilities and long-term care facilities.
Tonight we're learning more about a shooting over the weekend that sent 2 women to the hospital, one in critical condition. Rockford police were called to Eva and Kids Cleaning Service on South 4th Street early Saturday morning. When police got there, a large group of people were running away. A 28-year-old woman was found inside with a gunshot wound. Another woman sitting in a car near the business was grazed by a bullet. That 29-year-old has since been treated and released from the hospital. And Rockford police are looking for whoever broke into 2 businesses. Early yesterday morning, just before 4 a.m., police were called to the Rent-A-Center on West Riverside. They found the front window smashed and a TV missing. Then around 2:30 this morning, an alarm went off at Classy Boutique on North Alpine. Police once again found the front window smashed and the cash register gone. If you know anything about either of these cases, contact police.
Rockford Promise sends more than 100 RPS students to college each year for free, and high school seniors looking to go to Rock Valley this fall need to get their applications in ASAP. Rockford Promise scholarships are available for students who went to Rockford Public Schools for 4 years and plan to go to RVC, NIU, or Rockford University. Tomorrow's deadline is just for Rock Valley. The deadline's already passed for the other 2 schools.
If you keep that hope throughout K through 8, you go into high school from 9th through 12th grade, giving it your all and reaching out for help, there is a way for you to go to college too.
5 years ago, 5 Rockford Promise scholars made the president's or dean's list at RVC. Last fall, there were 27. To find out more about the program or how to get involved to be a mentor, look for this story on our website, mystateline.com. The effort to save lives in our community involves everyone. Domestic violence is the #1 police call in the city of Rockford.
Now city leaders are turning their focus to children.
We want to start from the second that we can engage with those kids in a preschool environment all the way through, right? And so the ones that we right now that are being arrested, what strategies can we deploy in those juvenile justice contexts that will allow them to be diverted to restorative programs?
One of those attempts starts at school.
Whitney Martin introduces us to a new program that's as simple as waving to a child in tonight's Stateline Strong.
Have a good evening, guys. Get on the bus safely. You guys have a good evening.
It is something in you that kind of just tears you down because you don't know exactly what the students are walking into.
When Whitney Simpson sees the buses pull away from RISA, it's bittersweet. Her job? To make sure the kids get on.
You're just gonna get a rush of kids, and then they see a camera, so they're gonna get excited.
However, her biggest mission, making sure they come back.
We don't know when they get off the bus if there's going to be a drive-by, if they even make it back to school the next day.
25 seconds, 24, 23, 22.
Simpson is one of many in our community making their presence known as kids leave for the day.
It is good.
A simple initiative making a major impact by Rockford's mayor's office. Volunteers and community members standing outside.
Yes. Hello. Hi, you guys have a good evening.
As kids unknowingly develop a bond with adults, role models.
So there's the bill.
To see just students smile and know that, you know, oh man, maybe she does care about me, or maybe they do care about me. They're taking their time to make sure that we get to the bus safely.
The program's so new, organizers are still working on a name. The title, not as important as its reach.
Right over there, 26.
So far, the group consistently meeting at 5 middle and high schools.
They look forward to, you know, talking to someone. They look forward to positive affirmations from, you know, people in the community.
65, anyone want 65?
We're smiling as we can through our masks right now.
Have a good night.
Stephen Bowie volunteers at Guilford.
Do a little twirl in there.
And says he feels like he's making a difference.
I just want to convey a sense of goodness and hope to them.
You got 1.5 minutes, guys.
Simpson says her job is much more than pointing kids to the right spot. It's about providing direction beyond these bus doors.
Your stomach drops when you get in the car, you let it go, and you're like, I hope those babies make it home safely.
In Rockford, Whitney Martin, Eyewitness News.
Principals tell us they've already noticed a difference in having to help with pickup and drop-off.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, how many of you had a little bit of spring fever out there this afternoon with those temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s? Felt very nice, especially when we had that sunshine. Starting to see a little bit more cloud cover move in, though, and our skies will likely stay mostly cloudy here as we go through the better part of this evening. That, along with the southwest wind, will actually help keep our temperatures a good 10 degrees above where we started off at this morning. Most of us in those low to mid 30s. Currently sitting at 47 right now in Rockford, 45 in Belvedere, 48 in Dixon, and 46 degrees our current temperature in the Pretzel City. We're at 47 right now for Bob on the southeast end of Rockford. Dew point temperature at 31. Not expecting any rain or snow here as we go through the night tonight. We round out the end of February on a mild one, and the end of meteorological winter, meteorological spring, actually begins tomorrow. It's our 3-month period, March, April, and May. March 1st, average high temperature right around 40 degrees. By the end of March, we really bump that number into the low 50s. We'll actually get some 50s here later this week, so it'll feel more like the end of March. By the time we get to the end of May, that 77 sure is looking nice. We will see those temperatures warm, but a little bit beyond that 7-day. I think we're going to see kind of the flip and reverse happen as those numbers could drop back. As we enter into meteorological spring tomorrow, we are also getting into severe weather season across northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. In fact, this week, Illinois Severe Weather Preparedness Week. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about local severe weather. Our favored months just a month away, typically between April and June. Severe weather and tornadoes, though, can occur at any month, at any time throughout the year. Couple examples, you have the January 2008 Poplar Grove tornado and, of course, the November 2010 Caledonia tornado. Both of those out of season events, but just a testament that severe weather can occur at any moment. Typically, the time of day, you get a little bit more daytime heating, so you're looking later into the afternoon, into the evening. Severe weather, though, can occur at any time of the day. A lot of times when we get that overnight activity, you tend to get more of a damaging wind or even flash flooding risk. So as we kind of set our sights closer to those warmer months, it's also a good reminder to dust off your severe weather plan. Make sure you know where to go if a warning were to be issued. If you're out and about, kind of start putting those plans together and then practice those plans over the next couple of weeks. Quiet skies for us here, a little more cloud cover as we go through the night tonight. We've actually got more of a Pacific kind of air mass working in, which is part of the reason why we've got a couple of cold fronts coming through, but we're really not seeing temperatures drop off behind that. Each low pressure system that comes in warms us up, but we don't see a big drop in those numbers because we're pulling in more Pacific air versus air from the Arctic. So tomorrow, temperatures above average again. Same thing here on Wednesday. I think Wednesday will be well in the 50s. There's a stronger cold front, though, that comes through on Thursday, so that is going to drop us down a little below average before we see the numbers climb by the end of the week. 32, that's where we end here for the overnight underneath a mostly cloudy sky. We will see a little more cloud cover tomorrow versus what we had for today. 47 for the afternoon. Not going to completely rule out as that cold front comes in. Futurecast does try to paint in maybe a sprinkle or two. It's possible, but I think we start the day off with a mostly cloudy sky. Then we'll actually see things clear out a little bit for the afternoon. Westerly winds pick up. You've got another chance for a sprinkle or two as we go throughout the day on Wednesday, but with that westerly wind Wednesday, temperatures likely making it at least to 50, if not in the low 50s for the afternoon. Notice here we drop on Thursday. We see those numbers climb as we get into the end of the week.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Two local girls basketball teams will try to earn their way tonight into the state tournament this weekend. Winnebago will be playing for a super sectional championship in Class 2A at Elgin High School. It's been 30 years on the nose since the last time a Winnebago girls team went to state. The Indians are ranked #1 in the state, and tonight they'll be trying to get past DePaul College Prep. The Rams have an 18-9 record, and they play a tough schedule. Sycamore will also play for a trip to state in Class 3A, and the Spartans will play at the Dundee Crown Super Sectional against Mundelein Carmel. Sycamore has never had a team go to state in girls basketball. Mundelein Carmel has a record of 25-7. The Corsairs play in the East Suburban Catholic Conference. I'll have highlights of both games tonight at 10 o'clock. Well, both the United Center and the BMO Harris Bank Center are easing COVID restrictions for fans from now on. Face masks will now be optional for fans at both venues. The United Center will still require fans, though, to show proof of a full vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test to be allowed inside the arena. Bulls have a hot one tonight. Miami against the Heat. The Heat have the best record in the East. The Bulls have the second best record. Well, the Raptors aren't so hot right now. Since the All-Star break ended, they've been blown out twice by the Hornets and the Hawks. Fred VanVleet is playing through a sore knee, and he's trying to hold his team together.
Again, as the leader, as the point guard, I take the responsibility for the performance that we put together these last two nights, and we got to be better. It's time to wake up and at least fight a little bit more.
Things have gone from bad to worse between Major League Baseball's owners and players. Representatives of the owners now say they're willing to miss an entire month of games in order to get what they want from the players. Today was the deadline for the two sides to have a deal in place before MLB started lopping regular season games off the schedule.
Yesterday seemed pretty nice with all the sunshine. Then today it was even warmer.
Oh, it was borderline rolling down the windows in the car.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
It got a little hot. You had to take the winter jacket off when you're in the car. I mean, you could actually go outside. My 7-year-old said, I went outside and I played in my sweatshirt.
Oh,
Like, all right.
that is a good benchmark that spring's coming.
There you go. Don't get too used to it, though, because I think things are going to be changing in a week's time, but we'll just enjoy some of the warmth that we have out there right now. The first Warn interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got a little more cloud cover moving in, and that'll kind of start us off during the day tomorrow. Temperatures down around 32 up to 47 for tomorrow afternoon. Could see a passing sprinkle on Wednesday, back into the 50s. Drop on Thursday. Showers and thunderstorms. Watching that cold front on Saturday.
The 250s.
Yeah.
Thanks, Candace. Thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.